Okay, so I need to tell someone about this because I genuinely don't know if I'm overreacting or if I should be way more freaked out than I already am. This happened on Valentine's Day, like last year, and I'm still trying to process what the hell actually happened. So like 2 weeks before Valentine's Day, I posted this video on Instagram. It was me attempting to make homemade sushi. Total disaster, honestly. The rice was a mess, the rolls fell apart. It was bad. The video flopped, got like maybe 40 views. But this one guy commented. He said something like, "Honestly, the attempt was adorable, 10 out of 10 for effort. Not creepy, just like nice. Funny." I replied with a laughing emoji, or whatever. He'd met me. We started talking. And honestly, the conversation just flowed. We talked about everything. Music, random childhood memories, weird food opinions. He told me about his job in graphic design. I told him about my marketing gig. It felt easy, natural. His name was Alex. At least that's what his Instagram said. After like a week and a half of nonstop texting, he asked if I wanted to meet up on Valentine's Day. He suggested this Thai restaurant downtown. I'd never been there, but it looked nice from the photos. I said yes. I was actually kind of excited, you know? Like it had been a while since I'd been on a date that felt promising. He showed up right on time. Brought me this little succulent plant, which I thought was cute and like different. Not the usual roses or whatever. We sat down, ordered food, and honestly the conversation was just as good in person. We talked through appetizers, entrees, dessert. I wasn't even checking my phone. That almost never happens. After dinner he was like, "There's this arcade bar a few blocks away. Want to check it out?" And I was having such a good time I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So we went, played some old school games, had a couple drinks. It was fun. It was actually one of the better dates I've been on in like years. Around midnight, he walked me home. I live maybe 15 minutes away. We're talking the whole way. He's making me laugh. We get to my apartment building, and I'm like, "All right, well, this was really fun." And he goes, "Hey, can I come up for a second? I really need to use the bathroom. That last beer went right through me." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, no problem." So I let him in. He uses the bathroom, comes back out, sits on my couch, and then just keeps talking. At first I didn't think anything of it. But then like 30 minutes go by, then an hour. I'm yawning, hinting that I'm tired. And he just keeps starting new conversations, asking more questions, telling more stories. It's 2 a.m. at this point. I'm exhausted. I'm like, okay, I really need to get some sleep. I have work tomorrow. And he's like, "Oh yeah, totally. Just one more thing I wanted to ask you." And then he launches into another story. This goes on for another hour. But here's where I started getting uncomfortable. He mentioned something about my job. Specifically, he said, "So how's that project going with the difficult client? The one who keeps changing their mind about the logo colors?" And I just stopped, because I never told him about that. I mentioned I work in marketing, but I never talked about any specific projects. Definitely not about a difficult client. I kind of laughed it off nervously and was like, "Oh, I must have mentioned that." And he just smiled and goes, "Maybe." Then he says, "Hey, do you have any of that jasmine tea? I know you love that brand, the one in the purple tin." I do love jasmine tea. I drink it every night before bed. But the brand I buy, it comes in a purple tin. I've never posted about it, never mentioned it. It's such a random specific thing. I was like, "How did you know that?" And he goes, "Lucky guess, I suppose." Then he stands up and walks over to my bookshelf, points at this specific book. It's this really old poetry collection my grandmother gave me before she passed away. And he says, "This was your grandmother's, wasn't it? She had great taste." I'm just standing there frozen because I never, ever talked about my grandmother. That book doesn't even have her name in it. There's no way he could know that. I'm starting to panic now. It's almost 4 a.m. My phone is in my bedroom. He's standing between me and the hallway. I'm trying to stay calm. I excuse myself and say I'm going to change into pajamas real quick. He says he'll wait. I go to my bedroom, close the door. My hands are shaking. I grab my phone and open Instagram. Pull up his profile. Start scrolling through his photos more carefully this time. And then I see something that makes my stomach drop. There's a photo he posted 6 months ago. It's taken at a farmer's market. Just a casual shot of some fruit stands. But in the background, blurred but visible, is me. I'm standing there holding a bag of apples, wearing the same green jacket I always wear on Saturdays. That farmer's market is the one I go to every weekend. He was there, 6 months ago, taking photos of me. I scroll more. There's another photo from 4 months ago. A coffee shop. And in the reflection of the window, you can see me sitting at a table with my laptop. That's the coffee shop 3 blocks from my office, where I work every Tuesday and Thursday during lunch. I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. I hear him outside my bedroom door. He knocks gently and says, "You okay in there, Sarah?" Sarah. He called me Sarah. Nobody calls me Sarah. I go by Sarah everywhere. The only person who ever called me Sarah was my ex-boyfriend. The one I broke up with 8 months ago. The one who didn't take it well. The one who kept showing up at my apartment until I threatened to call the police. I open my bedroom door slowly. He's standing right there. And now that I'm really looking at him, I can see it. He shaved his beard, dyed his hair darker, got different glasses. But it's him. It's my ex. I don't know how I didn't see it before. He smiles at me. That same smile. And he says, "Took you long enough to figure it out. I've been watching you for months, Sarah. Learned your whole routine. Where you go. What you like. Who you talk to. I even took that graphic design course you mentioned you thought was interesting. Thought it would give us something to talk about." I try to move past him toward the front door, but he steps in front of me. Not threatening, just blocking. He says, "I know you thought you could just leave me. Move on. But we're meant to be together. I made this whole new profile. New look. New interests. Everything you said you wanted. And you fell for it. You invited me into your home. Again." I tell him he needs to leave. Right now. He says, "But we were having such a nice time. You were laughing. Smiling. You were happy with me. Just like before. See? We're perfect together." I'm trying not to cry. Trying to stay calm. I tell him if he doesn't leave, I'm calling the police. He sighs. Says fine. If that's what you want. "But you'll miss me, Sarah. You always do." He walks toward the door. Stops. Turns around and says, "Oh, and that succulent I brought you? There's a tiny camera in the soil. I've been watching you get ready for bed every night this week. Sweet dreams." He leaves. I immediately deadbolt the door. Chain lock. Everything. I'm shaking so hard I can barely hold my phone. I call the police. Tell them everything. They come an hour later. I show them the succulent. They take it. Tell me they'll look into it. They ask if he threatened me physically. I say no. They say there's not much they can do without a direct threat. They suggest I file for a restraining order in the morning. I can't stay in my apartment. I pack a bag and go to my friend Jess's place. She lives across town. I don't sleep. I just sit there staring at my phone. At 6 in the morning, I get a notification. Instagram DM request from a new account. No profile picture. The username is just a string of random numbers. The message says, "You look cute when you're scared. Even cuter at Jess's apartment. I like the gray couch. Very modern. Jess is a gray couch." I've never posted about being at her apartment. Never tagged the location. Nothing. I look out her window. We're on the 5th floor. Across the street, there's another apartment building. I see a light on in one of the windows. Someone standing there. Just a silhouette. They wave. I close the curtains. Block the account. But 10 minutes later, another DM request. Different account. Same message. "You can't hide from me, Sarah. I'll always find you." That was 3 days ago. I filed for a restraining order yesterday. The police are investigating the camera. I've deleted Instagram completely. I'm staying at Jess's until I figure out what to do. But this morning I found something on her doorstep. A small box. Inside was a printed photo of me and Jess sitting on her gray couch, taken from across the street, through her window, last night. On the back of the photo, it says, "Happy belated Valentine's Day. See you soon." I don't know where to go. I don't know how to make this stop. He's always watching.